Welcome to the Echo Sportscast number 34.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. We have an eclectic show for you today. We got a lot of different sports. I went to a soccer game and a hockey game during. It was a rough soccer game. It was Algonquin playing West Ferris Trojans seniors. Algonquin won, and I have some candy for that. And I tried to do some tennis coverage, and that'll come up later.
We were at the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame dinner last weekend, and it was excellent. We've got, in our opinion, I believe the best award speech was Wes Buell of West Ferris for Male Athlete of the Year. Really well spoken. So
our spotlight interview is with Matt Marquardt, former pro hockey player, coach with the battalion, and we got to talk a lot of different things there.
Yeah, talking about what's new with the battalion, touched on his career and the journey to get here and what he's able to provide the players. So that was great. Bulldogs senior team held a scrimmage on Sunday, and quarterback Mason McGriskin's offense taking on Mark Mathon's defense.
Yeah, and we have some commentary about the facilities at Omischl. Yes.
And our heritage moment from the Hall of Fame will be Doyle Anthony's speech for winning the Pete Palangio Longtime Contributor to Sports Award.
Spring is here, and that means one thing. Baseball is back. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of every pitch, every catch, and every moment that brings our community together on the diamond. Whether it's outfitting little leaguers for their very first game, helping local teams suit up for the season, or simply sharing a love of the sport, we're here for it. We're more than just a sports store. We're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to support the leagues, schools, and families who make North Bay's baseball scene so special. Wherever your sports journey takes you, make sure you visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street so we can help you along your way.
So there's actually an NDA hosted soccer tournament this today. It's wrapping up.
Okay.
Yeah, they had teams from a bunch of different places and local teams. Chippewa, of course, is the defending champion for varsity girls, senior boys, and junior boys. Mm-hmm. So they're the team to beat. They're pretty stacked. We'll see how they wrap up. I did show up for a game on Tuesday evening. Algonquin and West Ferris senior boys were playing at Omischl, and it was usually soccer is like 1-0 sometimes.
Yep.
I missed one goal, but it was a 4-2 score, and I think I got about 3 goals.
Well, that's pretty, That usually takes a long time to see 3 goals in soccer.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Good soccer, rough, physical soccer.
Yep.
It wasn't out of the... But Derek was reffing by himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that because Mike Long retired?
I guess so.
There's not enough. We need some more soccer refs in town.
I guess so. He did pretty good, but he was getting... Yeah, I think he carded one guy because he's having to make calls from pretty far away, and he doesn't have the lines assistance on the lines either. So Algonquin senior boys beat West Ferris 4-2. They're now 1-1, and St. Joseph Schollard Hall got beat by Franco Cite 3-1. Next week on the May 13th, Ferris takes on the team to beat, Chippewa, up at Nipissing. That's 3:45. 6 o'clock game. Franco Cite is facing off against Algonquin at Algonquin. Hoping for a muddy game there. On the 15th, we have Franco Cite hosting Chippewa. 2 strong teams there. And that's at 6 o'clock. And Algonquin is hosting the Bears at 6 o'clock.
For the girls, so we had Franco playing the Northern Combined team, I believe. Franco coming out with a 10-1 win on that. Also, Chippewa playing against Algonquin, and that was a 6-1 win for Chippewa. And the final game that week was Schollard planking Ferris 2-0.
I think there was a forfeit here too, Northern and Schollard. So I think it's 3-0 by the rules. They got mass goal differential.
Up at Nipissing at 3:30, West Ferris and Chippewa will be playing. At 4 o'clock at Northern, Algonquin will travel to Sturgeon to play that game. And then the 6 o'clock game at Franco Cite will be Schollard coming to town. And then on the 14th, again up at Nipissing, Schollard and Chippewa. at 3:30. At 5 o'clock at Northern, West Ferris will travel there. And the 6 o'clock game at Algonquin, we'll see Franco and Algonquin.
In junior boys action, score results from May 6th. West Ferris got blanked by Algonquin, 5-0. Schollard won 3-0 against Franco Cite. That's the results. Next week on the May 13th, Ferris plays home Chippewa at Nipissing. Also on May 13th at 4 o'clock, Algonquin's hosting Franco Cite. On the 15th, we have Franco hosting Chippewa at 4, and Algonquin is hosting Schollard at 4. Going to check out some of the action on Friday today and see how that goes. Of course, in soccer, there's going to be the NASA Boys Junior AAA Soccer hosted by West Ferris Secondary, and then NASA Girls AA and AAA Soccer May 30th and 31st. So should be cool, and that's also hosted by West Ferris. So lots of sports coming up.
And NDA baseball kicked off last night as well, but that came out of nowhere, so I just kind of noticed it while it was happening.
I had no battery, and I was driving by the overpass, and I said, "Oh, there's baseball happening."
Yeah. So we'll have to get the baseball schedule. I think I know the people to call for it. But I know I got a email. Somebody left the lights on last night there too, so we were trying to figure out what happened. So that's it's the start of the year. We're getting equipment out of storage sheds, and it's not even ours for North Bay baseball to worry about. But somebody left the lights on, so we gotta recap everybody who's got locks, who's got keys for all the different facilities around town. So we're working on that.
So I went to the Granite Club for the tennis. Of course, it was rained out, and it didn't get any action. And we weren't sure about Thursday, but what I did find out is that they're hosting the NASA on May 23rd. So I got a little bit of time to catch up. Tennis is really taken off with
Francois Rochman.
Francois Rochman. It's funny. I said we were going to have him in, and he says, "Oh, you don't want someone with my accent here." I said, "Well, international flavor."
Yes, absolutely. And I really can't wait to talk to him because his has a very storied tennis career. Like, he was playing, I believe, professionally in Saudi Arabia for years. Like, so it's and continues to be like one of the top ranked, if not the top ranked, like masters doubles players in Canada. So and an incredible teacher. All my kids have gone through tennis camp at the Granite Club, and anyone who's had their kids go, he's just phenomenal with the kids and really engages them, and the kids come away from the camp always wanting to play more tennis. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have a cover over the courts so that they could extend the tennis season a little bit longer. And obviously it makes it hard for hosting tournaments and events when you're dependent on the weather.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you build that dome.
Yeah.
The second dome.
The second dome.
So let's buckle up and listen to Wes Buell, who looks like he's going to be a leader for the future.
Definitely someone going places. I know that was a really impressive speech, and it was a great event. And he definitely, I think, stole the show with that speech.
So if you're going to win an award and you're going to get to do a speech, just plagiarize and copy what he did, because it really hit all the high notes there. Yeah. So let's listen to Wes himself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so incredibly honored to receive the Bridge Award tonight. Being involved with sports, specifically basketball, football, and running, has been so crucial in shaping who I am today. All those early mornings in the gym, long runs, tough losses, and even better comebacks have all been a part of this journey. However, I owe all my success to the amazing people I have in my life. First, to Curtis Heron, who was my first Spartans coach and encouraged me to pursue basketball, to Sean Madigan, who was the first person to call me after he found out I was going to West Ferris and has since spent countless hours in the gym. John Pratt, who has spent so much time pushing me towards excellence in both cross-country and track. Mr. and Mrs. Robertson, who do so much for me. From coaching me in football, to working out with me, to giving me life advice and unending support, thank you for all that you do. Thank you to Dan Coutu, who I've been fortunate enough to have for my head coach, for the last 2 years of high school basketball. His tireless work ethic, thorough game plans, and belief in us has allowed us to be the underdog NBA champions the last 2 years. One of the most special parts about tonight is sharing this moment with my coach, mentor, and friend, Doyle Anthony. Doyle is the guy that I can call at 6 a.m. and he'll be at the gym right away, ready to work. Doyle and I have a special bond. He's like a second father to me, and I deeply admire his kindness and loyalty. He's the friendliest man I've ever met, and I know that he'll help me with anything. Another huge influence in my life is Sam LeBac. Sam first coached me in Spartans 3-on-3 basketball when I was just 9, and it's been a huge part of my journey ever since. He's a huge role model for me, not only on the court, but in life, being the kind of family man that I aspire to be. Sam is one of the greatest men in my life, and I know that he will always be there for me. One thing I'm very proud of is the tradition of Trojan excellence that's been passed down to me through the likes of the Robertsons, Mr. Katoon, Mr. LeVac, Doyle, Mr. Tugas, and the many others whose pictures line the halls of West Paris. Now, most of all, my family. My mom, the kindest, most supportive, most loving person I've ever met, has always been there for me. My dad, who was the most important person in my athletic journey. He has coached me and inspired me from the beginning, teaching me to never settle for anything less than my dreams. To my siblings, Annie, Jonah, and Meadow, my grandparents, my aunts and my uncles, and the rest of my family, thank you for always cheering me on and believing in me. And to my girlfriend, Molly, your love and encouragement means more to me than you will ever know. You inspire me to be a better person every single day. This award is not just a reflection of my hard work, it's a reminder of the incredible support system that got me here. I hope I can inspire the next generation of North Bay athletes to dream big and work even harder. Thank you.
Well, it's spring, and it's time to get in and go at North Bay Toyota. Right on. From the bold and adventurous RAV4 to the fuel-efficient and stylish Corolla Cross to the powerful and rugged Tacoma, there's a Toyota for everyone. Need extra space for your family? The Highlander, the Grand Highlander in Sienna. Want to go green? Check out the Toyota's complete lineup of hybrid vehicles like the Prius, Camry, Crown, and all-new Crown Signia, and more. My son actually drove a Corolla for a little while this winter. It was like, it was ancient. It was still running, smooth, no problems. Had my mechanic take a look at it, and he said, yeah, it's holding up. It's a car worth putting more money into. So they got a good reputation.
I think they probably have the most vehicles that get over 500,000 miles, too.
Yeah, I imagine they do. So get in and go at the North Bay Toyota. Visit them at 640 McEwen, North Bay, or toyota.com for details.
So our spotlight interview with battalion assistant coach and North Bay native Matt Marquardt. Very gracious of him to come in on very short notice from basically lives around the corner over on Copeland. So it was great. He was happy to come over. We had an awesome chat with him. Yeah,
it was great. That was the first time I sat and had a chat with him. We've seen each other. He's always said hi. Very friendly guy. It was funny if you... He's got this blood vessel muscle thing happening in the middle. I imagine he was pretty intimidating when he was on the ice. He was a very big, strong player to watch on the ice. I was really lucky. I got to go see him one time. I was visiting my in-laws in Florida, and he was playing about an hour and a half away in Fort Myers. But we went and checked it out, and got my father-in-law to go there. And it was kind of funny because I don't know if he thought it was a men's league game that we were going to watch or what it was, but he was not interested in going to watch hockey. And I was like, I am only going to get so many chances to get to watch, Matt play, and I'm right here, so we're going. And we drive up, and it was just kind of funny because he's like, we're in the parking lot, and he's like, whoa, this is a big arena. I'm like, yeah, like it's a real game. Like these are professional hockey players, and then we get up to the gate, and he's like, oh, do we need to buy tickets? I'm like, no, don't. Like, Matt left tickets for us, and it was getting fantastic game. It was a great rink, great atmosphere down there, and he spent a lot of time. So
It was great talking to Matt and hearing everything. He is definitely a player's coach, and I know all the kids that he's coached in town over the years in the hockey camps really look up to him. So.
Yeah. So at the beginning of, we're going to have about 5 minutes of this, and then the full interview is at the North Bay Echo YouTube channel. But the first 5 so minutes that you'll see will be from the middle. The beginning, we talk about the battalion camp and a few other things. But it was really kind of cool talking about, of course, close to home. He talks about young players today, right? And how they come totally different than they used to.
Yeah.
And he would know, right? So it's a very good conversation, very real, very close to the ground. And like the battalion organization, they have a nice collection of very mature, likable, experienced people that seem to be working together.
Yeah, and for an organization that moved up here and transplanted, you can really see the roots that they're developing here, and the local flavor that maybe wasn't the first part, but they're definitely hammering that home now and really listening, and they're just great community partners. So.
Right on. So let's listen from Matt.
You talked about being cut in minor hockey, and that's really timely right now because we've just kind of gotten through the big rush of all the minor hockey tryouts. I mean, there's still some ongoing and stuff, but this is that point where there's a lot of kids out there that have been disappointed by maybe the results of it, and they put everything they had. And, for some of them, maybe it does seem like it's over. What was that experience like for you, and what maybe is a message that you could share to some of those kids that are feeling a little down right now, and what they need to, how they can channel that and focus it?
Yeah. One way is now being on the coaching side and looking at things a little bit differently is no one's making the NHL at 11, 12.
Yeah.
So one thing I remember is just I went and played for Glenn Kandari, and he allowed my dad never coached me, only coached my brother. So my dad was on the bench as an assistant, so I thought, that's pretty cool. I'll get to be around my dad a little bit more. And it just kind of turned into a lot of fun, like just playing with my buddies from high school. And I'm a competitive person, but I was still able to compete alongside my buddies. And one way you could see it, especially for the young kids at this point, is just, again, letting it fuel you. The way you bounce back from certain disappointments, or, that's what defines you more than, getting released or getting cut, or I think just seeing it as an opportunity. That's one way to, deal with setbacks, is just kind of change your focus and your mindset into seeing it as an opportunity. I get more ice time. I get to play with some of my buddies from school I haven't played with. My dad will coach or something like that. But keep going. It's a never ending kind of journey if you choose to stick with it. If it's not something for you, then maybe that's the opportunity, or that's the kind of good thing about it, is you realize, I want to put my time and effort into something else. But I think for those who are really passionate and really committed to the game, use it. That's the one thing I could give you is use it, see it as an opportunity. Especially at that age, kids grow at different times. Kids develop at different times. I remember playing with kids that had beards at 11, 12, and then, they just, that's where they stop growing, or, so just sticking with it. If you're really serious about it, put in the work. There's, that's the main ingredient, I think, is just continuing to work and putting the time in. That's one way you're going to evolve as a person and as an athlete, is just being dedicated to your craft despite the results, sticking to it and being, it's
no,
I could put myself in that place, but it's like it teaches you a lot of lessons you can take forward with you. So
there's lots of times to sit and moan and complain when you're 80. When you're young and you still have a chance, and these are tests in life, right?
For sure.
And the test is how you handle something. whether it's good or bad. Even if you make the team, that's a test.
Yeah,
For sure. You got to put the helmet on, even though your head's swollen. You made the team, but now you got to work. And if you don't make that team, it's a test to see how what's your resilience level. Right?
Exactly. With in your role with the battalion players as well, like so these are now elite hockey players that have made it through, and in a lot of cases probably haven't experienced being cut or not getting. This is where they'll start to fall off. Is that like the role that you play in talking to them and how you've been involved in coaching? Like, I guess like you're just like a never-ending source of information about all these things about where these guys could play. Like, what are some of those conversations like, or I don't know, how do those kids that are hoping to go on and be drafted in the NHL or find pro experiences, like what are some of the things that you talk to them about, or how do you?
Yeah, I just try and play to my strengths. That's always something I try to do in my life and in my athletic life, and now into my coaching life. I think that I've tried to not be so far removed from seeing it as a player, and I do it in the approach of how I coach as well. Sometimes I talk to the guys about, I call it value in the visor. As sometimes I can trust what they're saying, put myself in their shoes and understand that there's certain things that they see that I might not, or I'm giving them a different view from the bench or from video.
Yeah.
And same with just the little things. I lean on my experiences. I think that's where I'm best suited to help coach and navigate players in their own development, whether it's personal or in the game, is just having them learn from my mistakes, or just if I show them that I can relate to what they're going through, or give them a scenario or an experience that I've had that was similar, and kind of give them, a nudge towards the right way to do it. And, either I did it the wrong way and I can tell you to go the other, or, just use my experience and again, like the mindset thing, try and find a different way for them to relate to what they're seeing. I can tell sometimes you forget these kids are 16 to 20, because a lot of them are very mature. A lot of them are very good at hockey.
Yeah.
So that's where I try and, again, just find ways for them to relate to things, whether it's from a personal experience or somebody I've seen playing at all the different levels. I can relate to little things and setbacks, or just kind of keep them going in the direction they're going. A lot of times that's the way to go too, is remind them that they're on the right track. The game's changed. We all had coaches that were a little rough around the edges, you could say, or the communication wasn't always the best, or any at all. So that's where, as well, just building off of my experiences and the things that I felt as a player helped me out, or things that didn't. And one of them is communication. That's the big key to coaching now. The modern player, you got to be on your toes, and you got to be on task, because they're going to ask why.
Yeah.
They're going to the things you say or the things you show them, well, they want to know why, and it's good. It keeps us on our toes.
Yeah.
It's not the old school where there's no highway option. We're taking in that information, getting to know the player and the person, and I think just communicating with them is the biggest thing. Knowing that there's an open door and be approachable is probably the biggest thing I've drawn on for these kids.
Imagine the power behind your generosity, month after month. When you join the I Give Monthly Club, your support helps provide state-of-the-art medical equipment and essential care for our community. Every month, your gift, big or small, adds up to something powerful, ensuring our local hospital has the tools it needs to provide exceptional care for our friends and loved ones. Join over 220 generous monthly donors who are already making a life-changing impact. From essential equipment like MRI machines to life-saving cancer care, your commitment, month after month, helps transform lives. Signing up is easy. Visit nbrhcfoundation.ca to join. Your monthly gift helps ensure our community's healthcare stays strong and accessible all year round.
Well, I am getting excited about the Bulldog season. Checked out the Sunday's scrimmage between Mr. McGriskin's offense and Mark Mathon's defense, and you could really see the difference in Mason. Like he was a quarterback in high school.
Yep.
He went to university, quarterback for a bunch of years. Come back here, he's a coach, and he was running that the offense like a drill sergeant. It looked like he was a pro out there.
Yeah. No, it's like the level that the Bulldogs have been able to kind of attract, and the players that I keep seeing from regular announcements of guys that they've signed. It's going to be some really good football this summer. That's great to see.
Yeah. A little bit of like disappointment when I got there is that I had a full bladder.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd check out the facilities, and because there was youth football Bulldogs there for a big practice, 100 football players, a bunch of men, and then I go to walk in the washroom and it's locked. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what the deal is for renting facilities in North Bay, but it's very disappointing sometimes. There's no reason why that wouldn't be open when you're renting it out.
Yeah, I don't know if this is some sort of seasonal thing and they haven't opened it, but I really think now that the field's in use that they should be access to it.
I'll be checking every time I go because I think it's a situation where the public facilities should be open when there's people renting the facility. Even I haven't even checked to see if they pay. They better get a discount if they're not, right?
Well, that reminds me of a time when Pete Palangio Arena's dressing rooms were out of commission due to a mold problem, and everyone was being forced to dress upstairs, almost in a strange pre-COVID type of preview. But when asking for discounts, the response from, I'm not sure if that person is still at the city anymore, was, we rent the ice, we don't rent the dressing rooms. And I was like,
no, that's a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got we've fixed the problem of the lack of facilities by building an arena. So that'll solve all the problems. And we won't have to worry about grown men bathing and nippusing before getting on a bus to drive back home after their football game.
Well, I don't know where the other 100 people were relieving themselves, but it's certainly a situation that should be checked out, and not a big deal, really, in this, the world. But I had to go drive somewhere because while at the Hacienda it's not a problem, it is a problem when you're in public there.
Yeah.
So not a bad thing. What I do want to promote, though, is that the first Bulldogs game is actually the Bantams are playing on the 17th, Saturday. And we're going to have Mark Mathon and maybe a player or a coach coming in next week for our spotlight interview. So we'll get the real deal on what's going on with the Bulldogs, including the new female team.
Yep.
And so that's going to be a good interview for next week. So I'm happy to see the football season starting because it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's football ends with the Super Bowl, and I don't know. I miss football, so I get excited as much as I love all the hockey that's going on and the playoff hockey that's been fantastic. But yeah, it'll be nice to see football too.
And for people to know, like the Bulldogs rep teams, they only have a couple home games. Mm-hmm. They're on the road most of the time. So if you hear of a game, go check them out because you might not get another chance. And
they do a good job too. I know lately they've get the big tent up, and they last year I think got a big bulldog to run out of for the player intros, and they usually do a barbecue.
Yeah, you're big on that stuff. Eh?
I love hype stuff. It's got to be.
And we're going to wrap up this week's Sportcast with a Heritage Moment. We have Doyle Anthony with his acceptance speech from his Pete Palangio Dedication to Sport Award, and it was very touching to hear him talk about how great it has been for him and the people around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know he from the coaches that he worked with and coaches that he kind of took over from many years ago, and then again to his family, and we were lucky enough, we were kind of our VIP seats with Mr. Tugas on the outside watching it.
Yeah.
And it was nice to watch, and it was a really great night. I had a lot of fun being there, so it was nice to see a great event, and we look forward to covering and doing more of them.
Yep. So let's hear from Doyle Anthony.
I want to thank those and refereed in Toronto more than 40 years ago before we had children. We decided to move back to North Bay 35 years. North Bay for us was known to be the best place to raise our two boys. I immediately started coaching at West Garris High School with Al Tennyson and Jim Ryan. Al was my first basketball coach in grade 7, and Jim was my football coach and teacher. This is where it all started for me. There were so many stories I could tell you all about those days, but we lost it all. These two guys, these two guys are my mentor. That's what I'm still coaching. From there, I coached with Greg Banners, a student of the game and a great friend. And every to this I consider another. Where's Larry? There we go. Larry and I traveled around the province, went to the East Coast twice, Hawaii, and many other amazing trips. Boston, Notre Dame, and so on. Gentlemen, I would like to thank you for all your wonderful memories and support. Presently, I'm the old man coaching with two of my former players, Dan Coutu and Jeff Buell. Jeff, can you stand up? Coaching with these guys has been fun. Thank you both for putting up with me on all my crazy ideas and pranks at every practice and every game. Right, Jeff? You both give all you have to the kids in the game. I do not think I would still be coaching if it weren't for the wonderful people I've had the privilege of working with over 40 years. I love you all, and really mean. Yeah. I would like to thank my two boys, Doyle and Dustin, who I coached and played with in the men's league and followed their university career. Their support is unconditional. Both of them have coached over the past many years. They are always there to give me advice, come to practice, and help them. I'm so grateful for their support. I'm so proud of them. Thanks, guys. My wife of almost 42 years of marriage, and of all that supported me 100% in my coaching and support of young athletes. As Coach Tugas, and most recently Coach Coutu can attest to me. She is not shy about providing her thoughts on the game and giving advice. Right, Darren? You have been my rock. Oh, can you please stand up? Nobody knows who you are. Thank you for the Sport Hall of Fame for this prestigious award. I do not coach for an award, but this recognition is very much appreciated. Finally, thank you to all the boys and girls, young men and young women who I've had the privilege of coaching, refereeing, or just watching play this sport to love. You are why I do this. Thank you very much.
For your schedule for local events, we have several at the end of the month here. The 37th Annual Northern Flights Ultimate Frisbee is taking place at the Omischl Complex, May 24th, 25th. We have the Spring Fling Pickleball Tournament, May 23rd, 24th. We have that spotlight we did with Derek.
Yep.
Did you join the tournament? Are you going to play pickleball?
I've been only practicing in the driveway so far, so I haven't had a chance to actually get out and
Excellent step forward.
It's what I'm trying for.
Yeah. And of course, we mentioned the NASA being here for the tennis on May 23rd, boys and girls, and that's going to be at the North Bay Granite Club. And the NASA soccer, AAA Boys Junior, that's going to be here, hosted by Wes Ferris, and NASA Girls AA and AAA, also May 30th and 31st. So it should be a busy end of the month.
Yeah, no, all those, that little break from sports, and now I think we're fully getting into the spring, summer.
Yeah. Anybody out there know about the cross country, let me know, and I'll try to cover that as well. Send your results to editor at northbayecho.ca. Thanks for liking, sharing, and commenting.
And that's episode number 34. I'm Paul McLean.
Yeah, I'm Dave Dale.